LeBron, obviously, you know that first game back off that trip is never an easy one. How would you quantify how you guys had to earn this one?
Uh, when you playing against a Miami Heat team, coached by Coach Spo, you got to earn it, and we knew that. You know, we seen the way they played last night in Phoenix. We know what they've been doing this year. They're a very good team, you know, and we knew we had to earn it. And that, like you said, that first game off a long road trip is always difficult, getting back home and getting your feet up underneath you. So, but we had to earn this one, and we did that.
Of course, you guys know what they're capable of defensively. When they threw that zone at you, what was the key to figuring out as you guys did?
Just trying to move the ball from side to side and then try to hit the gaps. It took us probably about a quarter and a half, and we started to get a little bit accustomed to it late in that second quarter. And then AD and JaVale, they worked together great in that third quarter. You know, AD shooting his mid-range and getting into the paint. JaVale getting lobs, and then when they didn't have anything, we had some guards cutting into the paint. AC cut for one, KCP cut for one for a layup. So just trying to move it out the ball.
Was this one of the better defensive efforts of the year for you guys? And if it was, why and how?
I mean, to be honest, that's just us. Period. That's who we are. We've been doing this all year. We don't expect the whole team, you know, at 80, but we expect to defend every single game and make it tough on teams. Try to hold them under their averages, and we did that once again tonight.
Three-point defense in particular was outstanding. How much of a key was that to?
Very key. We know how great of a three-point shooting team they are. They got a lot of lasers. They got a lot of guys that can shoot the ball extremely well, not only from that three-point line, but 2 or 3, 4 steps behind it. So we knew that was going to be very key to our win tonight.
Is it still special for you to play against the Miami Heat?
It's always special. It's always special. I mean, I got so many memories every time I play against Cleveland or Miami, just because of the history.
LeBron, it's your 35th birthday next month, and you turn 35. You're still putting up monster numbers. The average is 7 across the board in assists, rebounds, and points at that age. What can you attribute your success to?
Wine. You know what they say about great wine, right?
No.
You don't? So anybody want to tell it? The age what?
As well.
Age as well. There you go. There you go.
Speaking of wine, Dwyane said he loves you, but he was, of course, rooting for the Heat.
Of course, you see what he wore? He had his Heat red on, like a pimp over there.
What's it like playing in front of him now that obviously he's on the other side?
I mean, it's always great. It's always great for him to come out, man. And you know, obviously we know what he did in his career, phenomenal career. And it's always great to see a friend of mine. Obviously, we're gonna be spending a lot of time together. Our boys on the same high school team, so I'm gonna see him a lot. But for him to come out and obviously represent, you know, the Heat, but you know, for me to play in front of him was always special.
Ron, even though it's a different team and circumstances with him, do you take anything away from how you and Dwyane handle like the co-leadership dynamic and how that might apply to you and Anthony this season?
No, every situation is different. Every situation is different. So that's a different time. And this is a different time.
You're more of a process guy than a results guy, but what does it say about your team's defense so far? You hold Miami to 34 points in the second half.
You know, we didn't want to be just a group that talked about it. We want to be a group to be about it as well. And we're going to hang our heads defensively until our offense catch up with us. And it's going to be one of these games where our offense will catch up, and it will be scary, you know. But until then, we got to, you know, intimidate people on the defensive end and make our mark there. But it's just fun. It's just fun getting stops, multiple stops, making it tough on opponents, and you know, just cherishing that side of the floor.
LeBron, you tweeted or social media the washed king thing a few times. What kind of satisfaction are you taking that you've come back from injury and been able to play at this level, especially?
It's just my personal. It's my personal motivation. You know, I'm extra motivated to. You know, put myself in a position where I know I belong. You know, so it's my personal motivation every single night I step on the floor to be, you know, to be great. You know, I know the summer that I had. I know the rehab that I had with my, you know, with my growing. I know how much, you know. I mean, I shot Space Jam for 3 months all summer. You know, and my call times every morning was at 6:30 in the morning, and I was in the gym at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning before shooting for 12, 13, 14 hours. If you follow me, you've probably seen it a couple times. So, you know, I just know how much I put into my craft. I know what the main thing is. Even when I was shooting the movie, I know what was most important. That's me, you know, getting ready for the fall. And I always had that in the front of my mind. So, you know, it's just my personal, you know, it's my personal pressure that I'm putting on myself, which is, I don't really believe in pressure much, but you know, I believe in myself and I know what I'm capable of.
How much of that is drawn from the idea that there were people this summer more than ever wondering if you were washed?
Well, I don't know, man. You know, meet me at the cleaners.
Last question, please.
Kind of feeding off of Dave, obviously you guys are having a lot of success playing downhill, getting to the rim, but what would you attribute, I know it's early, the slower start as a team from beyond the arc?
I don't know. We got to just make them, knock them down. I don't like leading the team in three-pointers made. It's corny. I don't, you know, Ali, I don't know. We will get it going. We will get it going. One thing about it, if your offense is behind your defense, then you're a really, really good team. And I'm okay with that right now in the early season, that the fact that we can hang our hats defensively and wait for the offense to pick up. But we got some great three-point shooters. They're getting great looks. We're all getting great looks. And we will have one of those games where we make 15.
All right, LeBron, after playing all that defense, you get to sit down for this interview here.
I know Coach Spo, coach team, and they're going to play extremely hard. And if you don't play extremely hard, they're going to embarrass you. And we knew that. You know, they came up with a great win last night in Phoenix, and we knew they were going to give everything they had. They just played so hard. So it was a struggle again offensively for us, but we're going to hang our hats defensively, and that's what we did tonight.
I mean, you hold them to 14 points in that fourth quarter, 80 for the game. What was clicking defensively that's been there all season? It's been the number one scoring defense.
It's all about communication. When you communicate, even when you have breakdowns, you're able to make up for it because you're flying around and you're talking. And we did that once again tonight.
Fourth quarter came around. You got the offense going. You got a pair of threes, had 12 of the 14 points for your team. What were you starting to try to exploit with what they were doing on D?
Just trying to be aggressive. You know, like I said, offensively wasn't one of the best ones we had tonight. You know, we only scored 95 points, but you know, I always felt like I got a pretty good hand, and my teammates got me open on some plays. AD hit me for a corner three, and I just wanted to be aggressive and see if I can make them count.
Last thing for you, if I can zoom out now, 7-1 on the season. What has this start told you about this team?
We're very resilient, and you know, throughout adversity, whatever, if it's during the game, we're able to calm our minds and just bounce back. We don't get rattled, and that's not common for a team that's been only together for a short period of time. But it's definitely a good trait to know that when things get tough on the floor, we're not making shots or we're turning the ball over, we're able to still be calm and still execute, and that's what we did.
Thanks, LeBron.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, LeBron James leading the Lakers once again now.
It's just our way. I mean, we want to be a good defensive team. That team scores 100, I think 15 or something like that a game. And we knew they were coming off a back-to-back. We just wanted to make shots. They had some good looks they missed, but for the most part, we want to run them off the line. They're number one in three-point field goal percentage and held them to 17%. So we just wanted to run them off the line and hold them to one stop.
Looked like you found that soft spot in that zone, kind of in the middle. What did you guys go over, and how did that evolve where you were getting all those looks?
I mean, any time you want to beat a zone, you know, you get the ball in the middle of the floor or on the baseline, and it's tough for them to help. So that's all we try to do, just get in the middle of the floor, get the ball there, and then, you know, from there make a shot or make a right read so our shooters in the corners.
You had the most assists you've had all season. What came together for your passing tonight?
You know, they was in the zone and knew what was going to be open. Like I said, once we get the ball in the middle of the floor, you know, it's, you know, pick your poison. You know, I can score it or I can, you know, throw it to a lob to JaVale or Dwight or find the shooters in the corner. So, you know, once we got the ball in the middle of the zone, the rest was just making a play.
Is this the best performance of your team on defense this year? If not, it was close.
I don't know. I mean, you know, it's a good team. I mean, they were 6-2 and can score the ball. You know, held them to 80 points. You know, I think we've been good defensively all year, though, and it just adds to what we've been doing.
How long did the recognition take to figure out with the zone that they were doing it, that they were consistently staying with it?
No, we were just taking a lot of quick shots, you know, one-pass shots, and you can't beat the zone like that. So, hey, man, hey.
Oh, my bad, man. My bad, bro.
It's called control. No, I mean, you know, you can't beat the zone with one-pass shots, so, you know, we just start moving the ball, getting it in the middle of the floor, and then, you know, from there, you know, they're at our mercy.
Did teams used to throw a lot of zones at you growing up, just playing in Chicago?
High school. Zone is very rare in the NBA. Teams do it usually for one possession or the zone to a matchup. So, but they run it a lot, with their team. So we knew coming in that they were gonna probably run some zone.
Hey, at some point, do you guys have to make threes at some point to open up some other things?
We had some good looks. We missed a lot of threes in that zone. And obviously we would have made them. It would have opened the zone up a lot more, especially when you get the ball in the middle of the floor. But we're going to keep shooting them. Guys going to keep shooting them. KCP is going to keep shooting them. Troy, DG. So, that's what we want them to do. We don't want them hesitating at all. If you got it and you're open, let it fly.
It was like seeing Dwyane at the game today.
Huh?
It was like seeing Dwyane Wade at the game.
Oh, he's a fan. Obviously playing his former team. He's out here now, so just another guy of the game, I guess. Yeah.
So it's a different team and circumstances, but do you take anything away from how he and LeBron handled like the co-leadership dynamic and all that?
I don't know how they handled it.
Yeah.
It's a question for him. He's been with both guys, so I'm not sure how they handled it. But we just try to, lead together. With one guy on the floor. We're talking to those guys, and we communicate every time out, what we want to do or what we see on the floor, and go from there.
Frank said that internal statistics showed that you guys contested 88% of the shots tonight. What does that say about the effort and the culture you guys have built about doing that?
Well, we know they like to shoot threes, and a lot of you guys have quick triggers, so, we want to get a good contest and not close off short and give them their shots and then or run them off the line. And obviously when they get in the paint, we want to make sure that we contest all paint shots. So we're just doing what the game plan was.